All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today for this very, very special show where we're going to take a deep dive into what Americans really feel about the current administration. We've been into this thing for about a month and a half or so now, and it's been nothing but chaos. Americans are more divided than ever before, left versus right. We're supposed to be united here, but again, we're more divided than ever before. And today I'm going to show you folks what my Facebook friends have been saying. There's a lot of back and forth going on. I've made a lot of friends-only postings that I'm going to share with you folks here publicly today. And I also have some articles to go over. The Elon Musk interview with Joe Rogan, I believe was last Friday. I have the transcript, which I'm going to, talk about in a little bit here. And then I also have a Quora posting regarding what people think about the administration. So it's going to be a very interesting show. But before we get to all that, first of all, let me make sure everything is rolling smoothly. First of all, let me make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling well. And it looks like it is. Let me make sure that Facebook is also rolling well. So give me just a second here. I want to make sure that we are rolling smoothly here. Okay, so let me do a sound check here. For the Elon Musk interview with Joe Rogan, I believe it was last Friday. I have the transcript, which I'm going to, talk about. All right, YouTube is rolling well. Let me check Facebook real quick. It looks like I'm live on Facebook. Let me make sure that Facebook is also rolling well. Okay. It looks like Facebook is rolling well. All right. So, let's get right to it. First and foremost, I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a severe loss for words because us Americans and this world, the entire world, is dealing with a presidency unlike anything we've ever seen before. This is Donald Trump's second term. Okay. And we didn't think that it could get any worse than the first term was. And it's been nothing but utter chaos the first month and a half. And I'm a slight left liberal, more so down the middle. I like views from both sides that make sense and views that don't make sense from either side I don't like. I'm a fair and equal person. I don't have hatred for anyone, maybe except for Donald Trump and maybe Elon Musk, because of how much of a POS I feel these people both are. But even then, I don't even have hatred for them. I just disagree with almost everything that the Trump administration is doing. It is really affecting not only our country, but affecting the world, affecting our allies. And our enemies, like Russia, are laughing in our face. And most of what Donald Trump has done makes absolutely zero sense. It makes zero sense. But that's not what the MAGAs think. That's not what the MAGAs that still support him think, which is what I'm trying to say. That's not what the MAGAs think. The MAGAs are bowing down to Donald Trump like he's their Lord, Savior, and Messiah. And you can throw logic and reasoning and hardcore proof in front of the faces of all these MAGAs, and they still will call you a liar. They'll still say you're a part of the deep state. They'll still say you're a liberal sack of shit. You're a leftist. Blah, 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 blah. Facts are facts. It doesn't matter what political party you're affiliated with. Facts are facts, and that's all I'm going to share with you folks here today are the facts. And I'm going to show you how people are reacting to this from both the left and the right. Now, the last show I did, I had some people that were chatting on Facebook, and I completely forgot about Facebook. Today, I actually plan to go back and forth between Facebook and YouTube. And I guess, Raleigh, you're back again, botting again, because day or night, besides working or being with your family, you want to bot me every day. That's all right. Bot me every day, Raleigh. You want me to mention your name every day? You want a pat on the back? You want a pat on the back? Because you're a hardcore MAGA. You behave just like these people, and you're a great example of how these people behave erratically, right? Anyway, you do your thing, Raleigh. You do your thing. Pathetic loser. Pathetic loser. And here's the thing, before I get to it here. I'm a very reasonable person. I'm an extremely reasonable person, right? And I'd like to think I typically act with professionalism. I take pride in being professional. But because of the way these MAGAs behave, especially on the internet, it's almost impossible to be professional. Because being professional, like I said on my Walking with Purpose stream yesterday on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development on YouTube, being professional with these people is counterproductive. They don't care. They don't care because they're out here on the internet just spewing their garbage, right? You've got these middle-aged people, grown-ass adults, that are coming out here and playing like little kids used to play in the playground during kindergarten, right? Nursery school, kindergarten, right? Preschool, right? You see, Raleigh, I see your behavior. I see your behavior as something a kindergartner would do. So you're back, Raleigh. That's probably you on the YouTube side of things. You're cringe. It's not that we're bowing to Trump. Yes, it is. You're bowing down to Trump. It's that we agree with what he's doing. Trump won the popular vote. That means 77 plus million people voted for what he's doing. Well, there are 77 million dumb people in this country. That's the bottom line there. That's my opinion. You want to call me dumb? Call me dumb. But you're here on a sock account, hiding in plain sight. Furthermore, your cringe says, I agree. That's a typo. We could do differently, but what he's doing is what we voted for. So you voted for someone to dismantle our government, to get rid of all of our safety mechanisms regarding what makes our country work, what protects our country from danger in many aspects. So you're okay with our government being dismantled because you're led to believe that this is going to balance the deficit and the budget, and it's going to give you tax cuts, which, yeah, you'll get a little bit of a tax cut if that goes through. But who's going to win the most? The oligarchs are going to win the most. It's going to be the oligarchs like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, etc. So it's all good. It's all good. Think what you want to think. But I'll tell you this. Within less than 2 years, when Congress flips back the blue and they set forth some major articles of impeachment and things get turned around, you're going to see a major, major shift, because even Trump supporters that voted for him are pissed off. These people are going to town hall meetings in deep red states in the Midwest and the South, and they're basically booing their representative. They're booing anything that Trump has said and done, or has said and not done. He's supposed to, on day one, lower grocery prices. That hasn't happened. He said he was going to end the war with Ukraine. That hasn't happened on day one. And then recently, he attacks President Zelensky in the Oval Office and uses his lapdog, Vance, to attack Trump. Just like you MAGAs out here on YouTube attack other people. You ambush people. They ambushed Zelensky. Trump is doing what Obama wanted to do and never got around to. Obama never wanted to do anything remotely close to Trump. Don't compare any liberal to Trump. Don't compare any liberal to Trump. All right, we have no comments yet on Facebook. We'll check back in a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to start off the show. I'm going to probably take 1 or 2 breaks during this show. It's going to be a couple hours long. And the first thing I'm going to go over is a podcast that Elon Musk was on with Joe Rogan last Friday. And what Elon said to me is disturbing. It's absolutely false. Elon Musk, being as rich as he is, if you hear him talk, and listen, I'm not one that likes to shame people, but I'm just tired of his garbage. He sounds extremely illiterate when he's talking. He stutters all the time. He's trying to sound like he knows everything about government and how it runs and all that. But in my opinion, he sounds like a dumbass. He does. He sounds like a dumbass. Now, I'm not going to play any video here because, I don't like to deal with copyright claims and all that on YouTube. So that's why I have the transcript, which let me go over to the browser screen here. Let's see. Poor Eli. The next 4 years going to be hard. LOL. No, they're not. They're not going to be hard for me, but they're going to be hard for many other people. And I care about all Americans, including you MAGAs that are being screwed over by your own administration. If you want to come in here and troll me, you're just going to further prove how stupid you MAGAs are. Because you're dumb. You are the dumbest group of people that's ever existed. You are. You are dumb enough to vote into office a convicted felon of 34 felonies. Okay? A man that incited an insurrection at the Capitol building that viciously attacked innocent police officers, all because Trump was trying to get Mike Pence to not certify the election that Biden won the last time around. What kind of a human being does that make him, or any of you that support him? You guys support violence, obviously, right? You guys support violence. So you want to call me poor Eli? I don't give a shit what you call me. Call me whatever you want to call me. But you're just showing further how much more stupid you are. That's the truth. Get triggered all you want. Say whatever you want in the chat. Whatever. All right. So, Elon Musk, at 1 hour and 13 minutes and 36 seconds into his interview with Rogan, this is what he said. That was the game plan. That is still the game plan. And so they almost succeeded. What do we succeed on doing, Elon? If the machine of which the Kamala puppet was the representation had won. Now remember, this is transcripted. I'm reading it as it's been transcripted, or how Elon said it. That's what would have happened. The reason I went so hardcore for Trump was because, to me, this was a fork in the road. Oh, no. No. It was not a fork in the road. You just knew that if you were able to buy your way into Trump's administration like you have, that Trump would do things that would give you more tax cuts, that would give you more government contracts, which you're going to be getting some, after you and Trump said on Fox News that if something creates a conflict of interest, that neither one of you would allow that. But, you know, you're already setting up other contracts with SpaceX, etc., right? Hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, dude. You're a hypocrite. Like a very obvious fork in the road. Yeah, for you. A fork in the road for you. Because you don't want to pay your fair share of taxes. You don't. If they had another 4 years, they would legalize enough illegals in the swing states to make the swing states not swing states. They would be blue states. No, that's not the agenda of the Democrats. Yeah, of course, anyone that's running for office is going to want to, you know, get as much of the vote as possible, get as much, you know, support as possible. But what is wrong with that? And you're thinking that liberals want to weaponize illegals and get them here legally and convince them to vote Democrat so that way the Republicans don't have a shot at winning? How dumb of a statement is that? They would win the presidential, they'd win the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And after Donald Trump's term in office, you're going to see the Democrats wipe out the Republicans. The House, the Senate, the presidency, etc. You're going to see everything flip so blue. And that's going to start, mark my words, it's going to start in 2 years during midterms. Okay? When they flip Congress. And then 2 years after that, all of you are saying Vance is going to run. You think Vance is going to win? You think they're going to let Vance be president of the U.S.? The guy's not even acting like a VP right now. The real VP more so is Musk. He's more active than Vance. But he's not qualified either. They would then make District D.C. into a state, maybe Puerto Rico, get 4 extra senators, pack the Supreme Court, so then you'll have the House, Judiciary, Senate, and presidency all blue. That's going to happen in 4 years, less than 4 years. And then they will keep importing more illegals to cement that outcome. It has nothing to do with the illegals, you moron. You're just running your mouth. You're running your mouth. You sound very, very stupid. Very stupid. I've never heard someone sound so dumb. The richest man in the world acting so ignorant and dumb behooves me. Basically what happened in California. So you're thinking because California has a large population of Hispanics, that is the only reason why we're blue? Where's your proof on that? Show us your receipts on that. Okay? And even if most Hispanics that immigrated here and are not here legally vote blue instead of red, what's the problem with that? If they come here legally, they have to be legal to vote. So what's your point, Musk? You have no point. Joe Rogan says, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. What else are you going to say, Rogan? You know he sounds stupid. But if you go against him, you lose your entire audience, which is primarily conservative, more so MAGAs. So you got to go along. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm making $100 million from Spotify. So I just got to sit here and just act like I care. That's pathetic, Rogan. You're selling your soul. You're selling your soul for the money, dude. You're phony, man. All these people are phony. Musk, it would have been the end. That's why it went so hardcore for Trump. It was otherwise been the end. I'm reading this as it's being written here. And that's why the Democrat machine is so intent on destroying me. No, we don't want to destroy you. We want to get someone out of government that is not a government official, that, basically, technically you say you're not even a government employee, yet you're acting like one. And you're running this Doge that is going around and dismantling our government that has worked for the longest time. Joe Rogan. It's just so fascinating that people can't see this. What else are you going to say, Rogan? Everyone sees what's happening. Everyone knows what's going on. You know what's going on, Rogan. You know this is stupid. You know this is the worst administration in history. And because your audience is red, conservatives, even if you feel otherwise, you got to go along with the agenda or you lose your audience. Then you lose you lose your job in the spotlight. You lose everything, right? It's pathetic. I mean, I invite people to do their research. We've already done our research. Your stock is tanking. Your Tesla stock is tanking. You're not popular. People, even people that voted for Trump are starting to hate both you and Trump. You're a troll, Musk. You troll on Twitter and then you come in the Oval Office and get questioned on the stupid shit you do on Twitter. And then you say, oh, we're not going to always get it right. And when we don't get it right, we'll apologize. So you're going to go troll on Twitter. You bought Twitter for $44 billion to troll on Twitter to keep the spotlight on you and Trump and what you folks are trying to do to destroy our country and basically take all the money, right? And then you want to come back to reality when you're called out publicly, live on the air in the Oval Office and say, we don't always get it right. We don't always get it right. And when we don't get it right, we apologize. How about not make intentional mistakes in the first place? It's like, just do the research. We've already done it. Rogan, yeah, it's such a bad idea, even for the Democrats, which is why they don't understand, like, it's the same people. Well, what do you mean it's the same people? What do you mean? I believe you were once a liberal too, Rogan. All these podcasters and influencers on the internet, they were all, for the most part, once liberal. And because they realized what I've realized, that the majority of the audience on the internet is conservative, they all became fake conservatives. They all started to cater their content to the audience that's there because they're in it for the money. That's all it boils down to. All of you fake conservatives, Elon, you're a fake conservative. Donald Trump's a fake conservative. To you actual conservatives out there that support Trump, these people aren't even real conservatives, and you're okay with that? It's a disgrace to your party. Musk, yeah, it's not ultimately going to work out. We'll see about that. Let's see what happens in less than 2 years and then in 4 years. Keep doing what you're doing, Musk, and I'll tell you this. When Trump is out of office and the next administration fixes everything and then starts coming after you legally and destroys everything you worked so hard for to create and all the money you made and you lose it all, I'm going to be laughing in your fucking face. I will be. It behooves me too, Eli. Well, what is your name there? That's a weird, like, one-letter name. So why does it behoove you? Let us know in the chat there. Nothing going on Facebook, YouTube. We're all caught up. Rogan, it's just they're doing it under the guise that they're the kind, compassionate, progressive people. We are. We're empathetic. You guys are not empathetic. You guys are all about fighting and destroying things. You're about dividing and conquering, even within the country. You guys are about dividing yourselves from the liberals when we're all Americans at the end of the day. It's pathetic, Rogan. You're pathetic, man. But the same outcome takes place. It's just about control, and they probably institute some central bank digital currency and some social credit score system. Are you fucking kidding me, Rogan? What about Trump and his, cryptocurrency? Okay. Everything that you're saying here is exactly what your administration is doing. And you're trying to flip it on us like we're the problem? Musk. And then you're fucked. That's that, of course. We'll see about that. Rogan. Yeah, of course. Well, that was the big fear coming into this election, was that if they can't censor things like what we talked about before. But there's this is not transcribed properly, but I'll do the best I can. But there were two major forks in the road. The big one was Trump didn't get shot. Yep, the other big one was you buy Twitter. And if those two things don't happen, the whole world looks different. So you're admitting, Rogan, that Musk bought the election with Twitter and also by giving nearly $300 million to Trump's campaign to get him reelected, which then, puts Musk right into Trump's lap. And now Trump and Musk are working closer than Trump is working with his own VP, J.D. Vance. Give me a fucking break, Rogan. Give me a break. You can probably convince the stupid people that are MAGAs and support you, but you're not going to convince smart, educated, genuine, authentic, and reasonable leftists or people down the middle, people that are non-MAGAs. And I even have conservative friends on Facebook and in the real world that are anti-Trump. They're non-MAGA conservatives, and I respect them at the same level I respect the liberals and the moderates, people down the middle. The only people I don't respect are the MAGAs. I have zero respect for you folks because you don't even respect yourselves to realize what this administration is doing to you. Yes, we don't want to be on that timeline. Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see if there's anything more interesting to put in here. They just keep talking about the illegals. Rogan says, and the people that want to look at it in the most charitable way, they say, oh, well, these people are hardworking, good people, and they're the backbone of our city, and they should have access to all. You moron. Rogan, you fucking moron. These illegals are working jobs that none of us want to work. They're working the produce fields, and they're doing it for pennies on the dollar with no health care insurance, right? They're doing it for pennies on the dollar. And that's what's kept our grocery prices low. You know that. But you're going to go along with the agenda that your audience wants to keep your numbers up, which you're number 3 right now, Rogan. You're being destroyed by the Midas Touch Network, a progressive left-leaning podcast that's dethroned you. And they're gaining traction every day. And you don't like that, Rogan. You're just like Trump. You want the spotlight. You want to be number 1. You'll say anything to be number 1. Even bullshit that makes 0 sense. Jenny says in the chat, I think Joe Rogan is boring. He's not only boring, he's not really stupid. He pretends to be stupid because he's just basically playing his audience for clicks and for sponsors, right? He needs the people to keep tuning in so that way his show makes money. All right. This is why the Dems will not even deport criminals. Yeah, because every criminal deported is a lost vote. So even if somebody is illegal with a criminal record and commits crime in America, they still were not being deported. Are you that stupid, Musk? So every one of these illegals that's not deported or that is deported, like you said, is a lost vote. The illegals can't vote, you moron. You have to be an American citizen to vote. How dumb, 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 dumb are you? Or are you playing dumb because you know it's going to trigger people and it's going to put more eyes on you? Is that what it is? Or do you actually believe what you're saying makes sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. Zero. It really behooves me what Donald Trump is doing in this country, says E. I just get so behooved. Okay, now you're trolling, so cut it out or I'm going to ban you, okay? You're making fun of me and you're trolling me. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to get rid of you. Don't be stupid, okay? Don't be stupid. I don't want to ban anyone. I'm letting people talk, but if you're going to sit here and do stupid shit, you're going to get banned. All right. Before I take my first break here, we are at 32 minutes. I've had enough of this transcript here. Let's go over to this Quora article here. And I'm wondering if I can actually move this over a little bit. I think I can. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. I think we got it right there. All right. So this is actually, I guess, from a group on Quora called Leftist Viewpoints and the Resistance. And it's titled, Is Trump's Cabinet a Joke? And here's what was written. Here's the joke. One of Trump's newly appointed advisors was in the Oval Office with him and asked, Mr. President, sir, so how are you liking your new cabinet? He scratched his head, looked bewildered, and didn't answer. Then, after the advisor left, Trump was seen aimlessly wandering the hills of the White House for hours, visibly disturbed. I could actually picture that. The next day, still very upset, he called the advisor and said, I looked everywhere and I can't find that cabinet. Where is it? I mean, I was just like, this is stupid, but it's funny. Funny, stupid. Let's get to the comments here because this triggered some great comments. Okay. The really sad and disappointing thing, says Cheryl, is all his followers would be right there with him looking for that cabinet. That's because that's how fucking stupid they are. They'd be looking for a cabinet that doesn't exist, and they don't even understand the context of the statement, right? So you're right about that. You know what? I got to give you a big, huge round of applause. Big, huge round of applause. That's great. That's great. You have to find some humor out of all this, right? That's why God said, don't have sex with your relatives. Oh, I don't know where that comes from. Christina says, then they'd blame the libs for stealing the cabinet. Right. They would automatically assume a liberal broke into the White House and stole the cabinet. His cabinet must contain rare earth with Elon Musk's questionnaire. What do you plan to do with it? And if no answer, considered resign. Right. That's funny, man. They're making fun of all the stupid shit that Trump and Musk have done the first month and a half in office. IKEA has smarter cabinets. That's right. Ha 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 ha. Scott says, this is nothing but a hateful and lying site. No, it's not. You just don't like being called out on the truth. Of course, Trump answered it, but to come on here looking for answers is the wrong place. It's all hate here. Well, it depends how you look at it. You're coming in from the MAGA side. People are hating you folks because you're supporting the absolute worst president running the worst administration in our nation's history. It's all hate here and people that hate America. No. We love America. We're trying to protect America from Donald Trump's stupidity, from Donald Trump's, selfishness about trying to make it all about him and his rich oligarchs and their tax cuts. That's all it boils down to. And then giving his new best friend, Elon Musk, all the government contracts, right? Billions of dollars while you're trying to cut money, right? So you're trying to cut money to give tax cuts, which the rich oligarchs like you, Trump, and Musk are going to benefit the most from. And then you're also going to give the government contracts to Musk. And then Trump, you're going to keep sending out your email trying to grift every day, telling people to give money to you while you're in office. What a pathetic piece of shit these people are. Okay? They also haven't grown up and don't like telling truths. Wow. This is a massive projection. These people are projecting onto us what they're actually doing or what they're actually supporting in the administration. You can see Trump answering that very question clearly. Try looking elsewhere. If you keep looking for answers here, you're going to keep finding the previous answer. You got lies. That's all you MAGAs have. All you MAGAs say is that everything is a lie. You say everything is a lie, even if we put proof right in front of your face. We can give you hardcore, genuine, authentic proof, and then you would still say it's a lie. It's part of the deep state. That wasn't the real document. That was switched by someone or whatever. Stupid. Okay, let me see here. Jenny says, do you think people like living in North Korea? I wouldn't want to live there. I hope that answers your question. You think people like living in Russia? I wouldn't want to live there either. Thank you, Jenny. Trump doesn't have a clue, says Paul. If you watched the discussion in the White House earlier today between Trump and his VP, Vance versus Zelensky, this was this past Friday when that ridiculous ambushing happened of Zelensky. You will see the incredible decline in Trump's views, attitude, and truths. Trump is a very dangerous idiot who, along with Musk, is destroying America and our relationship with our world allies. Exactly. That's the honest truth. Left, right, down the middle. Joe Rogan, you know this. Musk, you know this. Everyone that's supporting Trump for whatever reason, you know this is the truth. This is the undeniable truth. Trump belongs in a locked mental health institution whereas nonsense and craziness can be kept away from the outside world. I agree. Who's going to stop him? How are we going to stop this guy? Raleigh says, Rollie. I really feel like he's underestimating Zelensky. I don't know if it's that or if he's intentionally belittling Zelensky to gain points with Putin. Trump is trying to gain points with one of the worst presidents in the history of any country in this world. That's all it boils down to, is he is bullying. He bullied and will continue to bully Zelensky because Putin likes it. And Trump wants to be best buds with one of the worst human beings on the planet. Probably the only person worse than Trump would have to be Putin. Let's see here. KD says, I was appalled that felon Trump, spoke that way to President Zelensky. Felon Trump has shown the rest of the world and America how he is unpresidential. And the other waste, Vance, chimes in telling Zelensky that he should be tailing to the felon that way. There's some spelling and grammar issues here. I'm trying to read it as normal as possible. Vance thought it shouldn't have been publicly telecast. Why not? It just shows what a maniac piece of shit felon Trump is. I agree. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Julie says, sadly, his MAGA minions are incapable of seeing the danger they will face. Yeah, I mean, they're going to live it. They're going to live the repercussions of what we're all going to live. And then we're going to more so laugh in the faces of all you MAGAs once it happens. Excuse me. How Trump's MAGA agenda will not only alienate our Western allies, but directly impact their own lives. Right. Just wait until they cannot afford groceries or access affordable health care. The list is actually mind-boggling. Right. Cutting Medicare. The majority of people on Medicare are in the Midwest and the South. Excuse me. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. The majority of people on Medicare are in the Midwest and the South in the red Trump states, and they're pissed off. It's also food stamps. They're cutting that. And the majority of the people that are going to suffer regarding that are the MAGAs. You MAGAs are being attacked, and you don't even care to realize it. I think you realize it. I just think that you folks hate yourselves so much, and you can't stand the fact that the liberals have been right, that you just continue to behave in ignorant ways. You're ignorant. The list is actually mind-boggling. Oh, it is. Because us liberals are smart enough to understand it. Ignorance prevails. Astounding that the once vulnerable Republican Party is now a party of opportunistic, moral cowards. These are cowards with no morals, values, and ethics. Bo Byers, I agree and Vance revealed how big a jerk, bitch, bully, idiotic moron he is with no experience in geopolitics. He was asking for someone to come put a knot on his head. He was a punk. Yep. Andrew, the last Oval Office meeting was the lowest. Vance and Lump. That's a typo. Oh, no, you did it twice. Vance and Lump we're up for a fight. Others do it behind closed doors. Lump does it for media attention. Right. Same with Musk. They intentionally planned this in front of the media. And now they've been trying to blame Zelensky for instigating this. Zelensky didn't instigate anything at all. And they're trying to say, oh, we should have talked about this behind closed doors. No, you guys wanted it to be live on the air because you wanted Putin to see this. You wanted the media attention. You even said it, Trump. This is going to get a lot of attention. Right? Ruth Ann Sutton, impeach both of them. I agree. I absolutely agree. See, that's why Trump is dismantling the government, because he doesn't want to have any shot of being impeached for at least 2 years. But, when Congress flips during midterms, oh boy, I can't wait for that. I could care less who wins or loses that war, but as a taxpayer, I'm not happy that 350 billion American dollars went to funding it, especially when we have our own infrastructure issues here at home. This is how dumb you are, dude. You're dumb, and again, you're dumb. That's not how much money. They were given an amount much closer to 150 or 175 million. Show me receipts of where 350 million comes in. You're going along with the Trump MAGA agenda. You've been proven wrong by mainstream media, with the exception of Fox, that goes along with the Trump MAGA agenda. You look it up on Google, you see the real numbers. You're full of it. Jenny says, so you don't want to live in Russia or North Korea, which are two lefty countries? It doesn't matter if a country's left or right. What matters is how that country's run and who's running them and what kind of a government they're running. I don't want to live in an authoritarian type of, government where the president controls everything and everyone. Anyway, let's continue here because I'm going to take a break in a few. Quite frankly, he's an idiot, says Eugene. I agree. And Don Gonzalez, when I read this, because I read stuff before I show it live. Don says the most totally unqualified, incompetent cabinet ever in the history of America, working for the most totally unqualified, incompetent moron ever elected president in the history of America. Big round of applause. Wow. Okay, give me a second here. When you are a felon, says Eileen, you associate with your own class of hoodlums, right? Right? Katie says agreed. And he, along with his cabinet that are highly unqualified, are the demolition of America, and non-wealthy or corporations are the ones who benefit, while average Americans who didn't vote for this idiot are going to pay dearly. Yeah. That includes the MAGAs too, Katie. The MAGAs that voted for him are going to pay as well. The MAGAs voted for him to get the opposite of what he's doing. And either they're just that ignorant that they can't see they're not getting what they voted them in for, or, they're just dumb. I don't know. I don't know. I've just never seen anything like this, ever. Michelle says, scary, isn't it? I fear every day that there will be a crisis and these incompetent monkeys will have no capabilities to deal with it. Lord help us all. Let's see. Debbie says, some even with direct connections to Russia. Talk about a useful idiot. Russia taking over U.S. from within. Who thought it could be so easy? What is America doing to change it? Soon it may be too late. Right. Trump doesn't realize that he's trying to buddy up with Putin when Putin would love to take over the world, including America. Gail says, rump. Rump instead of Trump. Rump thinks this is funny. He is showing America how little he cares. Right. Sue says, sad that there are many great qualified that would be honored to serve their country as president, but not Trump. He uses it as power for him and is not concerned with those that elected him. He's not. The MAGAs, he's not concerned about. He doesn't give a shit about you folks. What a miserable man to have so much hate in his heart. I pray for all the good people in the world to promote love and kindness for all humanity. Coffee Man says he's just trying to stay out of prison. Well, if he didn't get reelected, he would have been in prison and been fined severely. He's got to be one of the luckiest guys around. Clyde says, and some people voted this idiot, liar, crook, convicted felon 34 times, 91 indictments, impeached 2 times. What the hell is wrong with some of the people of the United States of America? They're dumb. They're just fucking stupid. That's all it boils down to. Clyde, they're dumb. And Clyde furthermore says, and his Republican Party stands with him, sick bunch of bastards. Right. Right. That's all you can say. Like, that's all you can say because these people are unreasonable. They're unreasonable. They're illiterate. They're incompetent. They're ignorant. Yeah, they're going to see what happens. We're all going to pay. Even us liberals are going to pay, but they're going to pay too. And I'm going to laugh in their face when we all pay. I'm going to laugh, and I'm already laughing in their face. Katie, I don't think we'll ever know why all the cult fools voted him back in. Well, they thought that he was going to change the world for them or change prices at the grocery store, end the war in Ukraine. They thought that he was going to lower prices on all of our essentials. That's typically why most presidents get voted in. He hasn't done any of that. He's made it worse. Inflation is going up. Prices are going up. Mike says he's a Hitler follower. Yeah. TJ says, it's easier to con someone than it is for someone to admit they've been conned. WrestleMania, how you doing? An overwhelming majority of the aid sent to Ukraine was actually older military equipment. Much more money came from Europe than USA. We only gave them about 150 to 175 million. Jamie WrestleMania, welcome to the show, by the way. And a lot of these people are saying we gave them 350 million because that's what the Trump administration and the MAGAs are spewing out there. That's what all the right-wing fake propaganda, bullshit propaganda influencers are putting out there. WrestleMania, sad thing is many people, at least I know, who voted for Trump are not actually MAGA. They just believe Trump would bring down costs on day one. Now they can't admit they were wrong due to pride. Right. Their pride is making them look more stupid rather than admitting they fucked up. I agree, WrestleMania. Yeah, he didn't lower grocery prices on day one. He didn't end the war in Ukraine on day one. All he's done is dismantled our government and putting unqualified people in high-power positions like Kash Patel, director of FBI. And the list goes on and on and on. Too many to mention, right? You're cringe. According to the Kale Institute for the World Economy, $450 billion in aid had been given to Ukraine. Total with the U.S. providing over 75%. Well, that's bullshit. That didn't happen. That's their opinion. That's not factual, dude. Get your facts straight. People can write or say anything. Those are not the facts. Period. End of story. That did not happen. We gave them around 150 million, maybe around 175. It was between 150 and 175, not 350. No, wrong. Absolutely wrong. Jenny says 170 million. Maths ain't your strong subject, is it? Who are you talking to? Math ain't your strong subject, is it? Who are you saying that to? Are you saying it to the your cringe that says, oh, they said 450 billion, 430 billion? No, no, they no, no, they did not give billions. They gave millions. Give me a second here. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It's not million, it's billion. I got that wrong. It's not million, it's billion. My mistake. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, Jenny, if you're gonna be rude, I'm gonna remove you. Okay. It's not million, it's billion. And it wasn't 350 billion, it was 150 to 175 billion. All right. Quite frankly, all those alarms raised about him being the biggest threat to American democracy were right on point, as he has surrounded himself with nothing but ass kissers and installed a megalomaniac in charge of shutting down many agencies and programs that are and will continue to have a negative effect on many, including many of those who voted for that POS, low-life scumbag POS who wants to be a dictator, right? Melinda says, what the hell is wrong with you? Biden is corrupt. They were all stealing money from U.S. workers, making up things that they need to send money for. And it wasn't even going to that project. They were all getting their cut of it while we're paying more taxes. You people are in la la land if you think Biden was for the working people. They didn't give a shit about you. Only themselves. Get with the real world. The only issue I ever had with Biden really was the situation with his son Hunter. Besides that, Biden cared about all Americans, and he did the best he can for all Americans, and he has done nowhere nearly anything bad remotely close to what Trump's done in a month and a half. William says, plain and simple, yes, everyone in this cabinet is an unqualified clown. Horst says, just think of the majority of U.S. citizens who have voted for Trump. Are they all stupid and you are the only smart one? Well, the ones that are still supporting him after a month and a half, I think are stupid. I think are just flat out stupid. They don't realize how much this is affecting all of us, including them. Give me a second here. All right. All right. So we're at 1 hour exactly. We're going to step away. Whoops. Come on. Why is it not showing? There we go. Let me move this back here. Go back to full screen. So we're going to take a quick break here. I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And when we get back, we're going to go over some Facebook postings and comments. I don't know how much I'll get through it. I've got about another hour or so before I need to stop. Got 70 screenshots. Maybe I'll get through one set or two sets today, and then we'll do another show later on in the week with more. But music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick 5, 6, 7 minute break or so, and we'll continue when I get back. Stick around. We'll be right back. right, we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Ethan Mixel and Double Helix. Hit it, Ethan, hit it. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. No. When this Trump administration is finally done and can never, ever, ever, ever run our country again, we're going to be playing this song over and over and over and over and over again and throwing the biggest frickin' party ever at that point. In the meantime, let's just get right back down to business. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Eli, live here on YouTube, also simulcasting live on Facebook. Today, we are going to be sharing some comments from my Facebook regarding what people feel about the current administration with Trump and Vance and Musk and the dismantling of our government and all the craziness that's going on. So without further ado, let's just get right back to it because there's a lot to go over. And I've only got about another hour or so to get through as much of it as possible. And then whatever we don't get through, we'll do another show later on in the week. So let's go ahead and get back over to the browser screen and let's close this down. And let's go to the slideshow here. All right. So let me see if there's anyone on Facebook. Okay, no one chatting on Facebook. No problem. We'll keep checking back every now and then. All right. So I put a posting. I shared actually a posting that one of my Facebook friends put out there. It was Dan. And he shared a picture saying, I stand with Ukraine. And I do too. I stand with Ukraine. I wrote, thanks for sharing, Dan. I'm with you on this wholeheartedly and completely. After yesterday's pathetic actions of Trump, I more so stand with Ukraine. Please comment below if you are also completely standing. I meant to put standing. I screwed up. Standing with Ukraine. And if you don't, please tell me how unreasonable and how much of a non-empathetic piece of shit you are. Because you're a POS if you don't stand with Ukraine. That, first of all, did not start this war, and Trump has accused, Zelensky of starting this war and wanting to keep this war going, and that's absolutely not true. Zelensky's tried to end the war. Putin's made promises he hasn't kept. And that's what it all boils down to. But the Trump administration wants to spin it way out of context. And then, the Trump minions, the MAGA'S, just go along with the agenda, even though they themselves know it's all horseshit. It is. All right. So, but before we keep on moving forward, let me make sure that the audio is still good. A non-empathetic piece of shit you are. Because you're POS. All right. We're good. All right. So Dan had written on the profile picture, he changed his profile picture, and he wrote, "This is where I draw the line. This isn't just about my family's homeland." So apparently Dan is from, his family's roots are in Ukraine. "It's about the future of our world. If you stand on the other side of this, I ask that you kindly unfriend me, wishing you well, but we're not meant to walk the same path." Absolutely. Absolutely. Helen says Ukraine and the liberals that don't know the truth. I'm sorry to say, Helen, that the truth is what it is. Everything you're hearing, Trump spew out there is nonsense. He's just trying to suck up to Putin. He's trying to be best friends with Putin. And, that's greatly affecting not only Ukraine, but the U.S. And our other allies. It's giving Putin more power. That, shit show that Trump and Vance put on in the Oval Office, last week, was all an act to basically show Putin that, we got control over this and we're going to help you attack Ukraine as well, when Ukraine has been our ally for the longest time. I mean, if you MAGAs can't see as clear as night and day that our current president is attacking our own ally, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Tom says they owe the United States $350 billion. And I screwed up again. I put million, but it's billion. I thought I had heard 150 million, but it's actually 150 billion. Tom, don't fall for the lies. The amount is closer to 150. It's 150 billion, not million. And I heard a story somewhere. Somebody was saying it was in the millions, but I believe it's 150 billion or 175 billion. See, there's so many conflicting stories out there. It's just insane. But it's definitely not 350 billion. Also, they are our allies. This should not be a problem. Our current administration is lacking major empathy. What Trump and Vance did to Zelensky the other day is despicable. I am ashamed to be an American at this time. I am definitely ashamed to be an American at this time. And many people are as well. Many others are as well. Tom says Ukraine lost the war. The war's not over yet. They didn't lose shit. Are they being harmed by Russia severely? Yeah. But, I mean, the war is not over yet. And you can't look at it that way. I wouldn't look at it as a loss. I look at it as a sad event that should have never happened. Should have never happened. And then my friend Kyle puts his picture out there. I do not stand with Ukraine. I do not stand with Russia. I do not stand with the UN or NATO. I stand with the civilians in each country who will lose everything and be displaced while politicians and their media play their war and propaganda games. Not sure why that's offensive to so many people. Okay. Okay, that would make sense there. Okay. But, I mean, you should stand with Ukraine in this case because Russia invaded them, attacked them, and Russia's always been an enemy. Russia's always been an enemy. And then Kyle puts this comic out there, and sorry for the quality, but that's how it was on Facebook. He's got this cartoon. Trump embarrassed us with Zelensky. We need to support Ukraine, says one person. That's probably the liberal there. And the conservative says, you could donate your own money to Ukraine. Yeah, that's what conservatives say. Okay, liberals, you donate your own money if that's how you feel. That's not how it works. And then the liberal says, I don't want a solution. I need to update my profile picture. And that's with the conservative that made this comic. They're making fun of the liberals that are supportive of Ukraine and saying, all these liberals are just changing their profile pictures on Facebook saying, I support Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine, right? What is wrong with that? They're our allies. Do you understand? They are our allies. Wow. Okay, next screenshot. And look at John, my Facebook friend John. This is ridiculous, John. More monies and bombs, please. You got a little baby Zelensky there. This is not a joking matter, but you MAGAs want to make it a joking matter. Again, when you can't afford your groceries, can't afford to buy gas, can't afford your essentials, yeah, we can sit here and put out memes all day long. It's pathetic when you have grown-ass adults in their 40s and 50s putting out stupid, silly memes. Just really pathetic. So, my next posting was, "Give it up, MAGAs." This was February 26th. "Give it up, MAGAs. You're all going to keep losing any of your dumb and very unreasonable arguments when things like this keep happening. More than 20 civil service employees resigned Tuesday from billionaire Trump's advisor, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. They refused to use their technical expertise to dismantle critical public services." Yeah, good for them. You MAGAs that continue to support this crap need serious mental help. You do. You absolutely do. Come at me all you want regarding this, but the actions are speaking for themselves. People are leaving Trump and Musk every day. They don't want to be a part of this wrongful government overreach. Check out the article below for more information. I'm not going to share the article, but we talked about it. Basically, what was in the article, I summed it up here in my posting. Okay. So yeah, Trump continues to threaten people's jobs, that he's going to fire them, or he asks them to do things that are unconstitutional or unlawful, and people are resigning. Even people that are, Republicans, registered Republicans, are resigning because they don't want to put their reputation on the line. They don't want to break the law. Some of them have law licenses and they don't want to lose their law license. It's just ridiculous. Vincent says, "I'm amused that Eli doesn't realize how much he slanders half the country." That's all you MAGAs say. Everything that you MAGAs disagree with is slander to you, right? But when you slander us, we just laugh it off and say, "Hey, whatever. You're stupid." That's all we say is you're stupid. Right? And we're going to keep saying that. Right? If you want to say give it up to the left or right, okay, but how come everything has to be dumb, stupid, moron, whatever? Because it is dumb and stupid. It's dumb and stupid. That's why. I'm not saying anything that's slanderous. It's dumb and stupid. So I'll tell you what, Vincent, if you want to sue me for slander, okay, you sue me for slander and then the judge will laugh you out of court, right? You want to do all the paperwork and spend all the money because that's what these MAGAs do. Whenever you say something and they don't like what you're saying, they disagree with you, or they're triggered by it because it's true, they say, "You're slandering people." Go fuck yourself if you think I'm slandering people. Remember, this election was won by a landslide. The people have spoken. I wouldn't necessarily call it a landslide, okay? But Trump won. He won fair and square, and none of the liberals questioned it like Trump did, the last time around, where he was saying, "Oh, there's a lot of widespread voter fraud," and all the stuff that he did during that time. Like everything this guy Trump has done has just really, really, destroyed the good graces of the people of our country. What Trump is doing right now is basically further leading people to believe that we can't trust government. Many people had a problem with government for a long time. They don't trust government, right? And Trump is just making it worse. But somehow these MAGAs are saying, "Oh, finally we can trust somebody. Somebody's on our side. Somebody's here doing the right thing for us." I don't know if you're seeing something different than I am. But anyway, I digress. Then I said, "Vincent, it's not slander if I'm stating an opinion or if what I'm saying is true." And a lot of what I say are my opinions, which I'm entitled to. It's called First Amendment freedom of speech, Vincent. Typical right-wing response saying it's slander. Yep, that's all they do. That's exactly what they do. I said that a second ago. That's all they do. When they can't come back at you because your argument is true and hits home, they say it's slander. Instead of just saying, okay, dude, I see where you're coming from. I disagree with you, but, you're entitled to your opinion. These people can't respectfully disagree, right, and move on. They have to come back and say, oh, you're slandering us. Okay, that's what you think. Yeah, feel free to sue me for slander and get laughed out of court by the judge, LOL. Furthermore, Vincent says, the only reason you not be guilty is because saying MAGA or XYZ is talking about half the population, not an individual. Well, that's true too, Vincent. You're right about that. You're right about that. But here's the thing, Vincent. If you do something stupid and I say you're stupid, okay, and we go to court over that, it's going to be hard to prove and the judge is going to laugh at you. Especially it happening over the internet. They're going to say, oh, it's over the internet, right? Trust me, Vincent, I've been a part of some court cases regarding these situations. And let me tell you something. It's not slander, man. It's not slander, man. But it's still calling names. Well, you know what, Vincent? Here's the thing. Like I said at the beginning of this show, and I've said before, I try to be as professional as possible. Okay? And I really want to be more professional. But when it comes to MAGAs, I'll say it again, being professional is counterproductive. You MAGAs laugh at liberal professionalism, right? Or you laugh at anyone that's trying to be professional with you that has an opposite opinion that makes sense and is presented to you professionally and respectfully. I hope you're well mentally. Oh, I'm just fine, dude. I'm all good. I cannot imagine being so upset that somewhere the largest employer in the country lost 20 employees. The Fed literally has millions of employees. It's not about, how many they lose. Okay? It's about how they're being forced out. It's about what Trump is doing that is unconstitutional and illegal. And there are so many lawsuits that have been filed. And I'm going to tell you, Trump and his administration are going to be in court for the next 2 years or more. Right? And do you not think that these lawsuits, Vincent or anyone else, is, costing us more money? We're supposedly trying to save money through DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Yet, Trump is doing stupid shit that's getting his administration sued, right? And Elon Musk and Trump and the administration, they're going to keep getting sued. And that's what's happening there. You're looking at it the wrong way, man. Even if one person is wrongfully terminated, unconstitutionally terminated, or illegally terminated, right? It's something to fight for because I believe in the system and I believe that everyone should be treated fairly and equally. So it's okay if we have millions of employees. If Trump wants to illegally fire only 20 of them, which it's been a lot more than that, and it's going to keep happening. But even one person getting wrongfully terminated, dude, don't you have empathy for that person that doesn't deserve this? What if you were in their shoes, dude? Put yourself in their shoes. Shane, I love Shane. Shane's one of my favorite friends. He's a really, really good guy that used to actually be conservative but switched 10 years ago when he just started to see just, how crazy the Republican Party started getting. And that's right around the time where Trump was coming on the scene. He wanted no part of it. Good for you, Shane. 20 employees, Vincent. Are you actually trying to suggest that Doge has only cost 20 people their jobs? It's been more than that. I get Vincent's point because there are like over 1 million employees. I think there are close to 2 million government employees or federal employees. But still, even if one wrongfully loses their job, that's not right. More people have likely resigned under this administration so they don't have to do things they would consider unethical. Not only that, Shane, but illegal and unconstitutional. These people that work for the federal government believe in our Constitution. That's why they do it. Far more people likely took the Doge resignation offer. So it's not about just 20 people resigning. It's much more than that. And saying stupid shit like, that is why MAGA voters and defenders get called stupid. Y'all are constantly spouting stupid shit. Big round of applause for you, Shane. Big round of applause. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me a second here, folks. Okay. Well said there, Shane. Well said. So Vincent writes back to Shane and says, Shane, what I'm saying is I don't care if 20 people quit their job at an employer that has millions of employees. That is stupid, Vincent. That's why we call people like you stupid. Because that one person matters. In essence, what you're saying, Vincent, is that people are disposable. And while there may be some truth to that because, that's just the way the world works, corporations, non-government corporations, they treat employees like that. You are disposable, okay? But you'd like to think that your own government that sets these laws to protect employers from wrongful termination, you would like to think that our government would set the right example. Even for one person, Vincent. That's why we say you guys, you MAGAs are dumb, because this is all about critical thinking. And your critical thinking skills are shit. They are. They are. If those 20 people, sorry, Shane, what I'm saying, I don't care if 20 people quit their job and an employer has millions of employers. Okay. If those 20 people are in a position where they can walk away from their job, more power to them. They didn't want to walk away from their job, Vincent. They were forced out. They were forced to either do unethical, illegal, or unconstitutional things. Or they were going to get fired. They were basically blackmailed, Vincent. Our own government is blackmailing their own employees. Ridiculous, Vincent. What I don't understand is why people get so upset that they feel the need to post about someone who they've never met quitting their job. It's about the principle of the matter, Vincent. The principle of the matter. Do you not have morals, values, and ethics? Are you not an empathetic person? Do you not care about other people's feelings, wants, and needs, Vincent? Are you a selfish person, Vincent? I can ask you all those questions. I could bring you on my show live on the air. We can hash this out, and I would trigger the shit out of you, Vincent, because what you're saying is very selfish and hypocritical. And if you put yourself in these people's shoes and you lost your job that you gave your heart and soul and dedicated your life to, like many of these people have, you would feel a lot different, Vincent. You're not putting yourself in these people's shoes or other people's shoes. You're not taking other people's feelings, wants, and needs, Vincent, into consideration. Wow. Shane says, because they believe that what Doge is doing is unethical at best. Oh yeah, at the very best, if you're going to give him any credit. But what Doge is more so doing, Shane, is unconstitutional and illegal. Very likely illegal. There you go, Vincent. Why can't you see this? Because Vincent is ignorant. He's being ignorant. He's being ignorant, Shane, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Or he's just, an unhappy, miserable person that just wants to spout his mouth off on the internet. I don't know. I don't hate Vincent. I know Vincent. He's not a bad guy, but he's not making any sense here at all. None. Vincent comments back and says, Shane, I understand that, but I also understand that as an employee, you're required to do what the boss says. Okay, Vincent, so let me ask you this. If I hired you and I told you, let's say I hired you and I'm paying you a couple $100,000 a year, right? And I told you, I want you to go to the Golden Gate Bridge and jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. Would you go ahead and do that? Because that's in essence how Trump is treating these people. He's not necessarily telling them to jump off a bridge, but it's a figure of speech. Trump is asking these people to do things that are illegal and unconstitutional. And at best, like Shane said, unethical. If those 20 employees don't want to do it, I'm sure they'll find someone else who will take the paycheck. Okay, so Vincent, are you saying that if I hired you and I told you as part of your work requirements you need to go jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and you don't do it, are you saying that, okay, I'll find someone else there'll be someone else that would want to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge for $200,000 a year and hopefully they survive, right? You see how stupid that sounds, Vincent? You might not agree with mass firing, but it's the unfortunate truth that can happen with any employer. That is true in the corporate world outside of the government. But even those corporations that are firing people in this same way, it is illegal and they can and have been sued over it. Employers, honestly, would never, ever do what Trump is doing. They would get massively sued and they would lose. They would lose. The federal government doesn't have any money and needs to fire people. The federal government doesn't have any money and needs to fire people. So you're saying that we need to fire people because we don't have money to pay them. You think the HR person at Google or other companies likes firing thousands of people? When they have to do it, it's based on, the finances of the company. And they give these people warning ahead of time. And they write them glowing recommendations to other jobs. And they don't belittle them. They don't force them to do illegal things. They just say, hey, you know what? Sales are down. We're not going to be running this program anymore. It's not working for us. Unfortunately, we don't have another position for you at this time. We're going to be laying you off. We're giving you a 30-day notice, right? Most companies will give you a 30-day notice, right? At least Trump could give these people a 30-day notice, but he's coming in there like a big bad bully dictator and saying, you're gone instantly for no reason. Right? And he's dismantling critical positions that need to be run by someone. Right? Because if we continue dismantling the entire government because you say we don't have money to pay them, Vincent, then there's going to be no government to run. Then this whole country will fall apart. It'll be worse than it was before Trump started dismantling the government. And it's getting worse. Your Cringe says, if you're a single man and have a maid, then you find a wife and she cooks and cleans, do you then keep the maid? No, you let her go. That's what Doge is doing. They're cutting needless jobs. These jobs are not needless, man. And here's the thing. You can still have a maid even if you are married. Some people have a maid because both the man and the woman work. Both men and women are working nowadays. And then they come home, they're tired, and they need someone to help them keep the house clean. That's not a really good example, man. I get what you're saying by that. I understand what you're saying by that. That's not the same thing as firing people that have lots of experience, and they have been in positions that are critical to effectively running our government and our country and protecting our government and our country. It's becoming more of a national security issue letting these people go. But you MAGAs are okay cutting these people and saying, well, we'll leave it up in the air. Whatever happens, happens. Let's just, save as much money as possible and then put our country at risk in other areas. Unbelievable. Shane says, I'm only going to be able to get through this set of comments here. I'll have to do the other ones another time because it's gonna take too long. No, Vincent, as an employee, you are not required to do what the boss says. Are you a robot? Can you make your own choices? Yeah, part of being a good employee is being able to work effectively and productively unsupervised, and to bring your own thoughts and ways of doing things into the business. People hire people that are going to better your company and bring in their own spin, not just go off of everything you say. Yes, to a certain extent, you do have to do what the boss says, but they're also going to give you flexibility to do the job they hired you for. David, welcome to the show. Damn, Eli, just when I thought you couldn't be an absolute idiot about much else, you have completely surprised me again. Have you ever heard of the right to work laws? Oh, what are you talking about, the right to work laws? Well, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that, it should be legal? That Trump can say, okay, I can just walk in and say, you're all fired. Just like that. That's not the way things are handled. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. Now, if it's not feasible to run a certain business or a certain branch of government anymore, then you got to give notice and say, hey, we're shutting down this branch of government within 30 days or in 30 days. We're giving you folks warning. We'll write you a glowing recommendation to find another job. Give some notice. He's not giving any notice. These people have done nothing wrong that gives them the right to immediately terminate them. You want to call me an idiot, David? Call me an idiot all you want. I can call you an idiot too. We can play that game back and forth, man. We can go back and forth and say to each other, you're dumb, I'm dumb, you're an idiot, I'm an idiot. We can do that, or we can try to work together as Americans and solve this issue and realize what's really going on that's affecting all of us, man. Come on, man. They are trying to free up federal government money so they can give the rich tax breaks. That's what's happening. That's actually not going to get them all the way to paying for the tax cuts they want to give the rich. So they will probably also raise your taxes to help pay for it. That's exactly what they're going to do. You not knowing this and continuing to perpetuate these ridiculous ideas are why we call you stupid. Right. They give an employer the right to dismiss someone without reason. Look it up. I understand that. I understand that. I understand what you're saying. What you're talking about, David, is called an at-will state, meaning an employer can terminate you at any reason for any time. But here's the thing. When they do that, David, then you can sue them for a wrongful termination if there was no valid reason to terminate you. They can also get unemployment benefits, and they will. Yes, you're talking about an at-will state, right? But there are still laws that protect employees in at-will states, okay? I've known people here in California that were fired just because they can fire anyone at any time. They got unemployment, they sued, they got a settlement. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. And that's why even in an at-will state, you got to do things the right way. You got to write people up 3 times. You got to have your documentation. If you're going to downsize and lay people off, you got to give people notice. You've got to offer them recommendations to other companies. You got to do the right thing. All right? I get what you're saying, dude. At-will state, right? That doesn't mean that companies, are immune to the laws, to labor laws. That doesn't mean they're immune to labor laws. Educate yourself before you speak on something. I'm doing just fine, David. I know exactly what I'm talking about, so thank you. You can get benefits, but not. Of course, you can sue. You can sue for anything at any time. You can sue. Federal laws trump state laws. For the government, yeah. Yeah. Still, what they're doing, the way that they're terminating these people is unconstitutional and illegal, and they're being sued for it. And the judges are, in some cases putting temporary restraining orders on these situations. Town halls don't matter. Okay. Well, the people are pissed in the town halls as well, man. The people in the town halls, Republicans in the Midwest and the South, these people are really, really pissed off. Well, it's good to see you folks coming in here and doing what you always do. There's nothing different here, man. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've been dealing with the MAGA'S for the last 7 years. I'm not surprised. I'm not offended because there's nothing to be offended. I can't stand Trump, says David, but you are wrong with what you're saying about this. Well, that's your opinion, man. Wonderful. It's your opinion. Thank you for your opinions. I appreciate it. Vincent responds and says, Shane, the federal government has a budget deficit that's in the trillions of dollars per year. That's why we have billions of dollars in outstanding debt. The government is borrowing to maintain its spending habits. Higher taxes or cutting spending. It's 2 sides of the same story. Different ideas on how to get to a goal. Well, you can't fix the deficit by cutting out essential programs. Necessary, essential programs. Garrett says the lawsuits will be thrown out. Well, if they hit the Supreme Court and then Trump's people throws them out as a favor, then they will probably be thrown out. That's why Trump has dismantled the government, is putting people in positions that he can control. That's what he's done. How fair is that, dude? Is that fair? If there was no merit, these judges would just dismiss the case. There's merit. There's merit. These are all going to go to trial, man. They're all going to go to trial. And Trump's going to be busy. Him and his administration are going to be busy in court. As for employees not required to do what their bosses say, or what their bosses says, you are correct. It's also an at-will employee country. Well, in many states, it's an at-will state. We've just been talking about that, Vincent. But there are still laws. Just because companies are in an at-will state, like California, for example, doesn't mean they're immune to labor laws. If you don't want to do it, the boss says the boss can fire you or you can quit. Yes, but there are repercussions for the way it's done. You got to do it the right way. If you're going to fire someone for performance issues, you got to document it 3 times for the same thing. Unless it's something major like theft, you're fired right away. No one's going to question that, right? But if you just want to get rid of someone just to get rid of someone without a reason, that's going to have repercussions. Sure, you can fire them, but they can also sue you for wrongful termination, discrimination, right? They will also get unemployment benefits. It's going to cost you more money to fire someone that files unemployment benefits and then sues you than just keeping them on board. Now, if you're laying people off for a valid reason, let's say that the company's losing money and you're laying off people because you can't afford to pay them, right? That's a different story. But in the government, it's different because all of these federal jobs are essential to our country standing. Without these people in these jobs, our country is going to fall apart, and our country is far less secure without people in these jobs. So you can't even compare these federal jobs to, the average everyday corporate employee in California, for example. These are 2 different types of jobs. And the repercussions are much more serious having gaps in the federal government, having gaps, in jobs in the federal government that are critical to our country functioning. That's all it boils down to. They aren't overseen by any branch of the federal government. I worked for USAID for over a decade. Well, that's good. It's a good program. It's a good program, David. USAID is fantastic. And USAID, helping even other countries, keeps us on good terms with them, our allies. And when we need something from them down the road, they'll support us. If we take away our support, what do you think is going to happen? USAID is good camaraderie, and it also helps other people, helps feed other people that are starving. No, they aren't. DeSantis, Rubio, 2028. David Estes, you are wrong, Eli. Please do some research before you open your damn. I used to work in the corporate world, dude. I used to be in management. I know the laws. Trust me on that. Even if you fire someone just to fire them because you just want to get rid of them for no reason, you could get sued for that. Not saying you are. The person has to sue you, right? But at the very least, when you fire someone without cause, just because you're in an at-will state, then definitely that person will get unemployment insurance. It's going to cost you piece money. All right, whatever. If you don't want to do it, your boss says that's fine. Go find another job. The Fed is not obligated to employ people, and those people are not obligated to work there. Well, if they hire them, once they're hired, then they're an employee. And there are laws that protect those employees. Okay? Once you hire someone, if you want to get rid of them, you've got to do it the legal way, the right way. Or else you're putting yourself at risk for lawsuits and other things. And that's what's happening right now. That is a tiny bit of it, Eli. Well, okay, fine. Shane says, wrong, Vincent. The government is borrowing to give tax cuts to the rich. Right, like Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Sam's Club, really? I respect you for letting us speak and not banning is for our opinions. That's fine. You can talk. That's fine. This is what these shows are about here. Higher taxes or cutting spending. It's two sides of the same story, different ideas on how to get to a goal. We can agree on that. So if you can understand that, then you must know that as a population grows, so will government. And as government grows, so does government spending. So cutting government spending isn't a viable solution. It's not, because it'll dismantle the safety mechanisms of our country. Additionally, back when the government was much smaller, taxes on the wealthiest people was much higher. It should be the highest on the wealthiest. We've been cutting those taxes for like 30 years, all the way up till now. We can see what the result is: higher debt and larger deficits. Yeah, Elon Musk could, all these oligarchs that Trump is buddy-buddy with, if we tax them another 10 to 20%, they'd still have a lot of money, and that would severely cut our deficit. Think about that. Why can't we look at it that way? Why don't you MAGAs look at it that way? Yeah, we've been cutting those taxes for like 30 years all the way up to now, and we can see what the result is: higher debt and larger deficits. The only way to resolve this problem is to start taxing the uber rich more again to try to get this under control. That's it. That's exactly it. That's the problem right there. You nailed it, Shane. You can't cut your way to paying the current debt. You can only get there from increasing GDP or raising taxes. So they are going to raise taxes, but they are only going to raise taxes on us, so they can continue to grow their wealth into oblivion. Exactly. So if your employer tells you to do something illegal, what are you going to do? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say I don't do illegal things. If you're going to fire me for that, you might as well fire me. But if you do fire me, then, I'll file unemployment. I'll see you in court. Go back to selling pet insurance, and when you know what you're talking about, we can talk. Thanks for not banning. I don't sell pet insurance. I've never sold pet insurance. Garrett says Elon Musk is shady. He absolutely is. Vincent says Shane, Doge isn't telling anyone to do anything illegal. They're the ones that are doing illegal things. They're dismantling the government, and they're doing things they have no authority to do, like getting our information, through the federal payment system, our personal information, social security numbers, right? Address information, all that stuff. Again, cuts or more taxes. Why not both? That's not what the rich wants, you moron. Trump wants tax cuts for himself and the other rich people. In order to do that, everyone else has to fill in the gap. Personally, I'm glad they are cutting spending. Some of the spending, I think, has no value to the U.S. but costs us money. For instance, do we really need to spend, what is it, $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq? That's a lifetime of taxes doubled for me, you, and all of our friends. Or can we cut that? Yeah, I don't really know what the story is about that. I saw an article on that, and I have to do more research on that because what I was reading didn't make a whole lot of sense. I think the money was given for some other type of viable project, but yeah, I'm hearing a lot of BS about that Sesame Street in Iraq thing. But yeah, that right there, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Shane says Doge isn't telling anyone to do anything illegal, Vincent. Sorry. Doge isn't telling anyone to do anything illegal, Vincent. He's asking the question, who told you that? Nobody is saying we can't make cuts and increase taxes, but they have to make the cuts legally, and you should know that you might lose services when they do cuts. I don't have very great confidence in what you think. You don't actually seem to have very good information. That's true. And you seem to be super willing to believe whatever comes out from this team, despite the fact that they've been caught lying and manipulating the information specifically to fool people like you into being hyped about what they are doing and continuing to perpetuate the lies and misinformation you are willing to believe. That was a run-on sentence, Shane, but it's all good. I agree with you. Which is why those of us who know better call you stupid. Garrett says, what I don't get is Trump is trying to push crude oil, but he is partnered with a guy who produces electric cars. I don't know. Yeah, didn't Trump put an executive order out regarding the mandate on the switch over to electric cars? There was some mandate on that. Like, let me look at that real quick. Let me see. Yeah, we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers. So yeah, so Trump is against electric vehicles, yet his best buddy owns the largest EV company on the planet, Tesla. Yeah, it's just that's funny. And Trump saying, "We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, right?" Okay, I'd like to see that. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. This guy will say anything to get in the office. He said anything to get in the office. Let's see here. All right. Vincent says, Shane, the problem I have is the left likes to point at the right and say you are stupid and wrong and illegal and immoral. It's because you are. It's because you are. Garrett says Trump campaigned, drill, 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 baby. It doesn't make sense. Well, he did that to get elected. Yeah, I was just saying that. You're right. You're right, Garrett. He did that to get elected. He's not going to drill. He's not going to drill. There's no need to drill. Crude oil prices for the time being are still fairly reasonably priced. Like the price of crude oil. Let me see. Let me see. think it's at $68 a barrel, which it's still reasonably priced. So there's no need to drill, baby, drill. But they never have discussion. Vincent, we're talking with you. We're having a discussion. Shane and I are having the discussion. Now, you may be right partially because a lot of liberals were keeping their mouth shut up until the last 6 months to a year. They're starting to come out on the internet now and talk because they're tired of all the bullshit finally. But your side of things, the MAGAs and the Republicans, have been the most active audience on the internet. And so that's why I think you're saying, the left never likes to have a discussion. They just like to say, oh, you're stupid and wrong. The left hasn't been showing up. But yes, they were calling you stupid behind the scenes. And honestly, if you're going to call one side stupid and not show up to participate in the discussion, then you're right about that, Vincent. I'll give you that. But things are changing. And that's not how Shane and myself are. We're having a conversation with you here. If Doge is doing things illegally, please inform me, send links or something. I'd like to not repeat false information. That would be much better than calling me stupid. Vincent, you've seen everything Doge has done. Musk is not a government employee. Okay? It's been said that Musk doesn't even run Doge, but then Trump at the same time has said he runs Doge. I think you see what's going on there, Vincent. Come on. You're not that naive, bro. Come on. Tony says, Vincent, the apologists and whataboutists. Come on. Take on the meat of what Elias is saying. Understand the gravity. Yes, half the country seriously screwed up, and the other half saw all of this coming. Well, to be fair, I don't think we even thought it would be this bad. The reckoning is coming. Just how long will a MAGA hold on to idiocracy? Just for the sake of being right. That's what they do. These people can't admit when they're wrong. They've got too much fucking pride. Like way too much. Be an adult. Right. They act like little kids. You were all lied to, drank the Kool-Aid, and are dead wrong. Yeah, I agree. The Roman Empire has begun to crumble. Oops, I'm in America. Big round of applause for you, Tony. Big round of applause. Yeah. Start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes here. Shane, I don't know what you're talking about, Vincent. Are we not on the forum built for discussion, having a discussion? Yeah, that's what I just said too. We are. I think you are brainwashed into believing that is true, but presently we seem to be engaged in exactly the opposite of what you claim reality is, so clearly that's not a reality. Well, to be fair to Vincent, Shane, like I said a second ago, I think what Vincent was saying is that in the past, a lot of the people on the left and down the middle weren't even showing up on the internet, but now they're showing up all of a sudden because they've had enough. They're tired of staying quiet. The reason why they stayed quiet in the past is because they didn't want to get involved in drama or they didn't want to be attacked, right? They didn't want people to come at them in real life. And that's what's happened to me. But now people are coming out regardless. They don't care because they're like, hey, we've never seen anything like this. It's crazy. And we need to step up and start supporting, what's right. If not, then the MAGAs are going to run away with everything and they're going to rule the world and destroy the world. And they're going to start here in the U.S. Well, any spending cuts the Doge team has proposed to have made is illegal. Since Congress is the branch of government that administers spending, one person denoting who gets fired and who gets money already allocated by Congress is breaking the law. That's how our government works. It's your own responsibility to understand things that you are talking about. Not my job to hold your hand and educate you every step of the way. That's true. I'm happy to inform anyone of anything, but honestly, I've been doing this for about a decade, only to chuck all the information in the trash and vote for a fraudulent felon. Right. So I think I've earned the right to refer to these people as stupid. You absolutely have, and so have I. We've been dealing with these people for a long time on the internet and in the real world. Shane, I respect what you're saying. Completely respect it. I put in the time and effort, and still here you are not knowing anything about what you are talking about, objecting to being called stupid. You listen to liars. You're going to sound stupid to people who know what you are saying are lies. Right. Most of what Trump, Vance, Musk, and the rest of the administration are saying are lies. They're flat out proven lies. Don't listen to what Trump says. Look at what he does. He hasn't done shit yet besides dismantle our government, threaten people's. He's threatened Social Security. He's probably not going to go after it. But he's messing with Medicaid, messing with food stamps, right, and a whole lot more. The list goes on and on and on. Okay. Vincent says, Shane and Tony, I think you're missing what I'm getting at. The left half of the country says the right is a bunch of idiots and liars, because you are. The right half of the country says the left are a bunch of idiots and liars, because you have nothing better to come back at us with. We're presenting facts to you. We're proving to you that what you're claiming to be facts are false and misinformation and disinformation. And then that's why you're calling us idiots. We're calling you idiots because we see as clear as night and day that these facts are facts that we're putting out, and what you folks are putting out is misinformation. You're putting out the opposite of what we're putting out. That's where we're at. So obviously, the side that can see the difference between right and wrong is going to be the smart side. The side that can't decipher right from wrong and thinks what's wrong is right, that's why we call you stupid. Can we stop calling each other stupid and talk about things as civilized adults? We can if you want. If you want to reasonably talk about proven facts are proven facts and proven lies are proven lies, sure, we'll stop calling you stupid. Let me go first. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Department of Government Efficiency auditing spending. Can we agree on audits? Well, of course. Shane says, no, I don't think so, Vincent. The problem with just calling someone something that it doesn't bear out in the facts. When I say someone is a liar, it is because they are lying. I don't accuse people of lying unless they are lying. Trump lies all the time. He's practically well known for being a liar. After his lies are revealed, he continues to tell that lie. He does that to brainwash his followers, so when you come out here and repeat the lies of a well-known liar, I have to assume you are brainwashed. It's true. The left isn't always honest, and they aren't always right, but they don't use lying as a political tool. J.D. Vance was called out for lying and was upset about being fact-checked. When pressed, he admitted he lied about immigrant eating cats and dogs to get attention. Trump, despite this, used the same lie during the debate that he got destroyed in, and people like you still voted for him. That's stupid. Going back to what you said, Vincent, nothing wrong with auditing the government as long as you're doing it the right way, okay? The way that Musk is going about this is not the right way, okay? It's not the right way, and it's pissing a lot of people off, right? So audit the government, cut what needs to be cut, but look at things reasonably and take your time to do it right. Don't go in there just gutting the government in the first month or two of a new administration. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Let's go back to full screen. I'll continue later on in the week. We've been on for 2 hours and 16 minutes. I got to get going. All I got to say is this. I hope it gets better. I'm hearing it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't like hearing that. Why should it have to get worse before it gets better? I pray to God that we somehow get through this. I pray to God that the epiphany hits Trump and he starts doing the right thing. I pray to God that people's Medicaid's not cut, food stamps are not cut. But according to what the government passed last week, that's where it's going to come from. Anyway, I may walk later today. Maybe not. All depends on how I feel. I have an errand to run with my girlfriend here, and I might be back to walk later on in the evening around 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development. Links below in the description. With that being said, have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.